Hi, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Tamara. I am a homeschool mom of 3, and I've been homeschooling for about 6 years. I don't think I'm going to say that in every single video, but if this is your first time clicking on my channel, welcome, and let's just get right into it. Today I'm sharing with you the resources that I've chosen for my 3rd grader and my 6th grader. I had originally intended to make this into 2 separate videos, but the resources are pretty much the same, just at different levels, so we'll just blend it all together into one, and hopefully you find something that inspires you or something useful about the resources that we've picked that you can use. Now, the resources that I'm going to share with you are just the core basic things that we're probably going to be putting our hands on every single week. If I were to show you everything that we're planning to use throughout the entire year, it'd be a much longer video and it would require many different segments, but we're just going to do the core basic things right now. So that includes ELA, math, and yeah, really just those 2 subjects, and then just a sprinkle of some others. So first things first, Brain Quest. I picked up a 3rd grade edition and a 6th grade edition for my girls. I've used Brain Quest when I was a kid. I don't know if anyone else out there has used them, but I remember taking them in the car with me when I was a kid, and my kids do it now too. They come in these little decks, 2 decks that spin out like this, and they cover subjects like math, language arts, science, social studies. There's some miscellaneous subjects, and it's just great for those little trivia questions that kids know at this age. So this is fantastic. Love these, recommend these, and we'll probably keep using those at each level. So the next thing are these 3-corner flashcards. We have them for addition and subtraction and multiplication and division. And how they work, they're a little bit different than traditional flashcards. They basically reinforce fact families. So you can study the whole card like this and just know that this fact family works together. Or my girls can sometimes work together where they cover up one and you basically have to say the missing number. So in this situation, the missing number you would need to say is 2. You flip it over and you have the same situation on the other side. You cover up one corner, whether it's the top saying, this plus this equals this, or it also kind of introduces algebra by being able to say like x plus 2 equals 10. So you have to figure out what x is. And I really like these for that reason. So again, we have them for addition, subtraction, and multiplication and division. The next set are the traditional flashcards that you might be used to, except for these the set I just showed, I think only goes up to 12, might go up to 20 on some. No, it's 1 through 12. This set actually goes beyond 12, and so that's why I like this set, because you'll see things in there like 60 times 10 or 400 times 10. Just gave away the answer, didn't I? So these are traditional flashcards that my 3rd grader will be using as she gets introduced to multiplication this year. Well, she's already been introduced to it, but as she continues to practice with it, this will be her set to use while my 6th grader reviews with the previous set, the 3-corner flashcards. Okay, so the next thing I have, and this is kind of like the skeleton, the bread and butter, it's the what your 3rd grader needs to know. I also have it in the 6th grade edition. This is an older edition. You can kind of tell from the cover that it's older, but still really good information in both. For the 3rd grade edition, it has all the subjects that you would want to cover, with the exception of foreign language. So this book has language and literature, history and geography, visual arts, and that include visual arts and music, math, and science. So all the core subjects are covered in this book. It gives a really good intro to those areas at a grade appropriate level, and so specifically we'll be using this one mostly for language arts. For the readings, there's different poems in here. They also have different sayings, excerpts of classic stories, and then I also like this for the history section, history and geography, but we'll use it for all sections and all subjects. So if you were thinking Like maybe you're someone who is not sure they're going to homeschool this year, but you're thinking about it, or you might be sending your kids to public school and I don't know, they have to cancel it for a couple of weeks because there's new cases or something in your class, and you just want to make sure that your kid has something that they can be doing at home. This is that thing that I would recommend. It's just basically sit down, read, and you can review it. There's no options in here for review questions. It's basically just a textbook of what your third grader needs to know. It's exactly what it says in the title. I've been using these since my kids were in kindergarten, and I think they're fantastic. I really do think it gives a good overview of everything that a child of that grade needs to know. So I'll be using them for both of my girls this year. Yeah, so definitely good resources there. The next resource, and again, I have this for both of my girls, so I can't hold up 4 books at once, but these are math workbooks by Argo brothers. And actually my girls helped pick these out. So just a quick overview. This one specifically goes over multiple choice, and it's broken down by weeks. So you'll have, for example, week 1, and week 1 will have 5 days worth of practice in each one. What the girls liked about this and why they chose it was because each week has a video explanation for every single lesson. What I like about this is that in addition to it having, I also like the video explanations because I'm going to be working with my son for him. This will be his preschool year. So if I'm working with him and one of my daughters has a question and I'm saying, okay, just 1 minute, instead of them having to wait on me, I can actually say, okay, go check out this video, review it. If you still feel like you need help after you viewed the video and learned it, then we'll talk more about it. So it's kind of like having a sub. But also what I like about this is I do try to mirror the language that the public schools use. So when I'm doing my record keeping, I try to keep in line with the standards and make sure that my kids have learned whatever they need to know for that grade, following their same language, using that Common Core coding, because I'm just type A like that. And in this book, I don't know if you can see that, but it tells you exactly when they're working on a question, what standard that question fulfills. So that's what I really like about these books. This is a testing year for my kids, and I actually give them a pre-test and post-test every year anyway. But one thing I noticed when I was testing them last year was that multiple choice questions were just foreign to them. We pretty much last year operated off a curriculum that was primarily free response, which is what this second book is. Although it follows the same format and guidelines, it's free response, which is what they're used to doing. I wanted to make sure that multiple choice questions were a part of the curriculum this year, so that it's something that they're used to, something that they get familiar with. But I didn't want to just do multiple choice and forego free response, because I think that you do need both. So this material is great for that. The one drawback about these is that there's only 20 weeks of material in these books, and we homeschool year round, and the main part of our school calendar is 36 weeks. So we're just going to have to kind of stretch these 20 weeks out. I'm thinking what I might do is just have them do multiple choice some weeks and free response some weeks, some weeks they might do both, and that'll be how we stretch that school year out for math. And so once again, that's for both girls. Like I said, they both participated in helping to pick their curriculum this year, and I'm really proud of that actually, because they're to the point now where I can say, hey, what do you like, what do you don't like? One of the things, my 6th grader, I thought she was going to want to do more digital online courses, and she actually took a trial course online, and she just wasn't into it. She, I think, likes to be able to get her book, go wherever she wants to go, not be encumbered by having to worry about is the laptop charged, or there are times where we'll get in the car and we'll go somewhere and they take their books and things with them, or if they want to go and spend the weekend with my parents or something and they want to take their things with them, they're not having to be as concerned about having a laptop or an iPad or something with them. So I'm all about it. I like that there's a little bit of a mix in that there are videos with these lessons, but it's not a complete online course. And so I also picked up the ELA version of those books, which is another, it says daily practice in these books, but actually it's 20 weeks, but these are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So it's not daily. That is something that I was a bit disappointed about, but what I decided to do is combine this ELA practice workbook with this vocabulary practice book. And this, I'm sorry, that's my, I have it for both grades again. So that one goes from 3rd to 5th, and this one goes from 6th to 8th. So this will be my 6th graders ELA with my 6th graders vocabulary. And again, this goes from, it's 20 weeks, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and it really focuses on reading comprehension, and then there's also some lessons in here dealing with language and usage. And then they'll have also these vocabulary books to practice. And what I like about these vocabulary books is that they get about 10 to 12 words per lesson, and they get 3 different activities to work with each lesson for the group of words. So I'll just open up this first one. For example, lesson 1 is synonyms. Eek! If you can see that. And it'll go through 3 different lessons with the same group of words that you're working on for synonyms. So this works for us because I think what I'm going to have them do is work on this book Monday through Friday. This book will be kind of a Tuesday, Thursday, and with lesson, like the first lesson being on Tuesday, second lesson being on Thursday, the third lesson will be on the following Tuesday, and then they'll have a spelling test or a vocab test the following Thursday. So they'll really be on each lesson for about 2 weeks. I think that's how we're going to do it. We'll see how that works out, and I'll let you know and keep you updated. So that's the plan for ELA and for those books. I'm also including writing this year. This is going to be the first year where I have a dedicated writing book. In the past, I've just given them writing assignments, kind of like journal prompts, and have them write just in a journal what they in whatever the prompt is. They'll just write about it. But this time I'm going with a more structured approach in that this is 180 days of writing, and that takes us through the entire school year, the whole 6 weeks we have 6 terms of 6 weeks for a total of 36 weeks, also known as 180 days. So they'll be doing these in addition to that ELA and vocab on and on. And I can break this down in another video. Right now I'm just showing you the curriculum. And then also the last book, I know this has been a long one, Critical Thinking. These are by Evan Moore, and this is going to be my first experience with these as well, but I have noticed that my kids really like to do logic puzzles like Sudoku, or what are those puzzles called where you get a certain amount of clues and you have to like mark an X in the box? I think they're just called logic puzzles. If that's what they are, then that's what this is. It includes that in there. This one for 3rd grade specifically also has some origami, which my daughter is really into origami right now. So it has opportunities for her to do origami, and there's some crosswords and word scrambles. I mean, just all sorts of different activities that they have to think critically in order to solve. So this is going to be in addition to what everything I just showed you. And then another thing that we'll probably be using every week, and I showed this in a previous video, are the books that are part of my Big Fat Notebook series. And yeah, so I'll link that card somewhere up here so you can go and take a look at those and flip and see the flip through of those. My oldest really likes those books, so I definitely highly recommend them. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because I think it's starting to get a little crazy in my house again. So thank you so much for clicking on this video. I hope you saw something that you might want to use, and I'll just see you in the next one. Bye.